Are you absolutely certain that the way you nap isn't quietly harming you? It may sound strange at first, but for older adults, the way they nap can reveal more about their future health and even their life expectancy than they might imagine. Doctors have always understood that sleep plays a crucial role in the body's recovery and repair. But now, new research has uncovered something deeper. Certain nap habits, yes, even ones that seem innocent, can slowly wear down your well-being. Not just your energy, not just your memory, but your heart, your brain, and your ability to stay independent. And here's the key. We're not talking to me about whether you nap. In fact, many older adults benefit greatly from short, energizing naps. What really matters is how you nap, and that's where things get serious. Because some nap patterns have been linked to higher risks of heart-related incidents. Others throw off the brain's sleep rhythm, which leads to memory issues and mental fog. Some even quietly upset your digestion and spike your blood sugar. And the most surprising part? Every single one of these nap dangers is preventable. So in this video, we're going to take a gentle, eye-opening walk through 5 nap mistakes that older adults commonly make, sometimes without even noticing. We'll explore the science behind them, but not in a boring way. We'll make it easy, human, and real. Because when you understand what's happening inside your body, you gain power. And when you have that power, you can make small changes that lead to a stronger, safer, and more vibrant life. By the time we finish, you won't just have more information. You'll have confidence. You'll learn how to nap in a way that brings you back to life instead of quietly dragging you down. And if you're over 60 or love someone who is, this might be one of the most important videos you watch today. So take a breath, lean back, and let's begin. Number 1, napping right after meals. It might feel comforting, almost natural to lie down for a nap after a good, hearty lunch. But what if I told you that doing this might be quietly doing more harm to your body than you think? See, every time we eat, especially heavier meals with carbs or fats, our body kicks into gear. Your stomach, pancreas, intestines, and liver all begin working together in a beautiful rhythm to digest that food properly. But when you lie down too soon after eating, especially flat on your back, you're interfering with that natural process. Gravity is no longer on your side. Instead of helping the food move downward, it allows stomach acid to creep upward into the esophagus. That's where problems begin. Heartburn, acid reflux, or even something called silent reflux, where you might not feel symptoms until your throat is already irritated. For older adults, this is even more important to understand. As we age, the lower esophageal sphincter, that tiny valve that keeps acid in your stomach, gets weaker, which means acid reflux happens more often. And when it keeps happening, that acid can inflame your throat and even cause long-term irritation that many people live with unknowingly. But it's not just about acid. Lying down right after eating also affects blood flow. Your digestion is already pulling a lot of your body's energy, especially blood flow, toward your stomach. So if you nap flat on your back, less blood reaches your brain and muscles. That's why instead of waking up refreshed, many people wake up groggy, foggy, and even more tired. Now I know on the surface, a post-lunch nap might seem harmless. After all, it's part of daily life in many cultures. But context matters. If you nap while seated upright, in a recliner or a high-back chair, you can reduce those digestion-related issues. But lying flat immediately after eating? That's where trouble quietly sneaks in, especially if you're already dealing with things like high blood pressure, diabetes, or any memory-related challenges. And this isn't just theory, it's personal too. Take someone like Walter, a 74-year-old retiree from Ohio. For years, Walter had a routine. Lunch, nap, repeat. But he always woke up feeling worse. Tired, cloudy-headed, sometimes even with a sore throat. His doctor suggested a simple change. Wait 30 to 60 minutes after meals before lying down. And instead of a bed, rest upright in a chair. What happened next surprised even him. His acid reflux faded. The sore throats vanished. But most surprisingly, his afternoons became clearer, mentally sharper. That little adjustment made all the difference. But let's look even deeper. Sometimes that strong urge to nap after eating isn't physical at all. It's emotional, it's boredom, it's sadness. For many older adults who live alone or feel underengaged, mealtimes become routine. And right after eating, a nap becomes part of that same lonely rhythm. Eat, nap, wake up foggy, feel less inspired to move. Repeat. This doesn't just hurt the body, it drains the spirit. So here's the real takeaway. You don't need to give up your nap, not at all. But when and how you take it, that matters more than you think. Give your body a little space. Let it digest. Sit upright, maybe stroll around the living room or fold some laundry. Then, when your body is ready, rest. That's when a nap does what it's truly meant to do, not just give you rest, but help restore you. And sometimes that small shift changes everything. Number 2, napping too long. A nap can feel like a perfect midday reset, especially as we get older and start noticing that dip in energy during the afternoon. But there's a delicate balance because somewhere along the way, a nap can shift from being helpful to quietly becoming harmful. And that tipping point, it usually lies right around the 30-minute mark. When older adults nap for too long, especially more than an hour, they often enter a state known as sleep inertia. That's the groggy, disoriented feeling you get when you wake up from a deep sleep. Instead of feeling recharged, you wake up sluggish, sometimes even more exhausted than before you laid down. But this isn't just about how you feel right after waking up. Long naps, especially those that stretch beyond an hour, have now been linked to deeper health risks. Research published in several aging and neurology journals shows that excessive daytime napping in seniors may increase the risk of cognitive decline, including dementia. Why does this happen? Because long naps interfere with your body's natural sleep-wake rhythm. They confuse your internal clock, making it harder to fall asleep at night and even harder to stay asleep once you do. And we now know poor nighttime sleep is one of the strongest indicators of future memory loss, mood changes, and even lower immunity in older adults. Here's what many people miss. The need for long naps is often a symptom, not the solution. If you feel like you have to nap for 2 or 3 hours each day, your body might be trying to tell you something more serious. Poor sleep quality at night, undiagnosed sleep apnea, vitamin deficiencies, depression, or even early neurological shifts can all be hidden behind that extreme daytime fatigue. That's why long naps shouldn't just be brushed off as normal aging. They should be seen as a red flag, a quiet signal that your body needs help. Let me give you a real example. Margaret, an 81-year-old grandmother from Illinois, used to nap for nearly 2 hours every day. She said she always felt exhausted, even after resting. Over time, she started noticing her memory slipping. Her nighttime sleep was lighter, more broken. Her daughter finally encouraged her to speak with her doctor, who referred her to a sleep specialist. What they found surprised everyone. Margaret had moderate sleep apnea and a vitamin D deficiency, 2 things she never suspected. Once those were addressed, she shifted to shorter 20-minute naps. And just like that, her energy returned. Her memory sharpened, her sleep at night, more restful than it had been in years. Most sleep experts today agree the ideal nap length for seniors is between 20 to 30 minutes. It's just enough to refresh the brain without dropping into the deeper stages of sleep that are hard to wake from. These short, gentle naps can boost mental clarity, reduce stress, and even protect the heart without messing up your body's nightly rhythm. And there's something else. Long naps can unintentionally increase feelings of loneliness and restlessness, especially if you live alone. When your nap stretches across the entire afternoon, you lose out on time. Time you could have used for movement, for connection, or even just for something that brings you joy. And that time, it matters. Especially after 65, when staying socially active and mentally engaged is one of the most powerful ways to keep aging at bay. So if you find yourself regularly napping for 2 or 3 hours during the day, pause and ask yourself, what's really behind this tiredness? What might change if I trimmed that nap down to a short, gentle rest instead of a second deep sleep? If you're still here and finding these insights helpful, do me a favor, just type number 2 in the comments. It lets me know you are watching and that this message is reaching the right hearts. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd encourage you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. That way you won't miss future videos like this, videos made to inform, uplift, and support you on your journey. Now let's gently move forward. Number 3, napping in a reclined position for hours. There's something undeniably comforting about a cozy recliner. The soft cushions, the gentle way it cradles your body, the familiar hum of the television playing in the background. For many older adults, it quietly becomes the unofficial napping spot. But here's what most people never realize. Napping for extended periods in a reclined but still upright position, like in a recliner or armchair, can actually pose a silent risk to your health. When you nap in a chair instead of lying flat in bed, your body doesn't fully relax in the same way. Your diaphragm, that essential muscle responsible for drawing in deep breaths, has to work harder in that semi-sitting posture. And over time, that effort leads to something many people don't notice: shallow breathing. And shallow breathing during naps means your brain, your heart, and your muscles aren't getting the oxygen they need to fully recover. This isn't just about comfort. Scientific studies show that poor oxygen flow during rest, especially in seniors, is linked to chronic fatigue, mental fog, and even added stress on the cardiovascular system. And it doesn't stop there. Recliner naps can also interfere with your circulation, especially in the legs, because gravity pulls blood downward, and when your knees are bent for long stretches, it slows the return of blood to your heart. That sluggish blood flow increases the risk of blood clots, especially in older adults with varicose veins, mobility issues, or sedentary habits. In fact, a condition called deep vein thrombosis, or DVT, can develop when someone naps in chairs for too long without moving, stretching, or walking afterward. And in severe cases, those clots can break loose and travel to the lungs, turning into a life-threatening emergency. Now let's talk about someone who lived this firsthand. Franklin, a 76-year-old retired supervisor from Michigan, used to nap in his recliner every single afternoon for 2 hours. It became part of his daily rhythm. But gradually he started waking up with a stiff neck and tingling in his hands. He brushed it off as part of getting older, just another ache to ignore. But a doctor's visit changed everything. Franklin was diagnosed with cervical spine compression, caused in part by the poor neck position he maintained during those long chair naps. Once he switched to napping lying flat in bed, using a supportive neck pillow, things changed. Within just a few weeks, his pain eased up, and he felt more rested than he had in months. But there's another layer here, a quieter one that's not physical, but emotional. Napping in a recliner, usually in front of the TV, can easily become more of an escape than actual rest. It starts as comfort, then turns into a routine, one that's driven by boredom, not true fatigue. And that kind of napping, it becomes a pattern of disconnecting from life, rather than participating in it. That matters more than people think. Because for older adults, things like mental stimulation, purpose, and interaction aren't luxuries. They're lifelines. They're what keep the spirit alive and the mind engaged. So if you find yourself dozing off in your chair every day, gently ask yourself, am I truly resting? Or am I quietly slipping into a habit that's robbing me of energy, engagement, and time? Because the best naps, they happen lying flat in a calm, supportive space for 20 to 30 minutes. It's not about denying your body rest. It's about giving it the kind of rest that restores you completely, safely, and meaningfully. And sometimes the smallest shift from chair to bed can make the biggest difference in how you feel, move, and live. Number 4, napping too close to bedtime. At first glance, a nap might seem simple, just a bit of shut-eye whenever you're tired, right? But here's a truth many older adults don't realize, at least not until it starts interfering with their nights. Napping too close to bedtime can seriously disrupt your sleep cycle and slowly chip away at your overall health. Here's why. Our bodies are guided by something called the circadian rhythm, an internal clock that manages our sleep and wake cycles. It's what helps your body know when to start winding down for the night by releasing hormones like melatonin, and when to wake up with the help of cortisol. But when you nap late in the day, especially within 3 or 4 hours of your normal bedtime, you confuse that rhythm. Instead of feeling drowsy around 9 or 10 p.m., your body thinks, wait, didn't we already rest? And that slight confusion can push your sleep window back, making it harder to fall asleep when you actually need to. At first, it might seem like a small problem, a little tossing and turning before bed, maybe a later bedtime than usual. But over time, it builds. Your sleep becomes fragmented. You start waking up more during the night. You stop feeling truly refreshed in the morning. You drag through the day, even after spending what looks like 8 hours in bed. And in older adults, this isn't just about grogginess or frustration. Poor nighttime sleep can lead to memory problems, increased risk of falls, higher blood pressure, and even deeper emotional challenges like depression. Let me share an example that might feel familiar. Eleanor, a 74-year-old grandmother of 5 from Pennsylvania, started taking what she called digestive naps around 6 p.m. after dinner. She said it helped her relax, but something started changing. She couldn't fall asleep until well after midnight. Her nights felt restless, and the next day she barely had the energy for her usual morning walk, the one she used to love. Her doctor gently pointed out the connection. Those early evening naps were silently shifting her entire sleep rhythm. So Eleanor made one small change. She moved her nap to earlier in the day, around 2 p.m., and kept it short. And within a week, her sleep at night began to improve. She woke up feeling more refreshed, and her mornings came back to life. There's science behind this too. When you nap too late in the day, you reduce what sleep specialists call sleep pressure. That's the natural buildup of tiredness your brain needs in order to fall into deep, restorative sleep at night. And if that pressure is released too soon with a nap, your body can't fall into the deeper sleep stages. So you end up spending the night floating in light sleep, which doesn't restore your mind or body the way you need it to. This impacts everything from your balance to your blood sugar levels. To stay aligned with your natural rhythm, most sleep experts recommend two simple rules. Nap before 3 p.m. Keep it short, about 20 to 30 minutes. That way, your nap becomes a gentle recharge, not a full reset that confuses your internal clock. So if you're lying in bed at night, struggling to fall asleep, or if you wake up in the morning wondering why you still feel cloudy, even after all those hours, ask yourself one question. When am I napping? Because sometimes the answer isn't in your bedtime routine. It's hiding in your evening nap, and becoming aware of that pattern might be all it takes to gently restore your natural rhythm. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights helpful, go ahead and comment number 4 down below. It helps me know you're here and that these messages are reaching the right people. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I truly recommend you do. Click that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you won't miss upcoming videos, each one made with care to inform, support, and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, napping without adjusting the environment. Most people think of a nap as something simple. Just close your eyes, rest it a bit, and that's it. But what many don't realize is that how you nap and where can make all the difference. Because your environment isn't just a backdrop, it's a message to your brain. And if the message is mixed or chaotic, your body might lie still, but your brain stays on alert, never really slipping into true rest. Here's the truth. As we age, our senses may soften a little, but our brains remain surprisingly sensitive to our surroundings. Sound, light, temperature, even the way your body is positioned. All of it tells your brain whether to truly relax or remain half awake. Let's talk light, for example. Many older adults nap with the blinds wide open or a TV screen still glowing in the background. But when your body is exposed to bright light, especially blue light from screens, it blocks melatonin, the hormone that helps you wind down. Even if your eyes are closed, light leaking through your eyelids sends a message to your brain. It's not time to rest yet. The result? That nap feels less like recovery and more like zoning out. It doesn't heal you. Then there's sound. Many seniors believe they've gotten used to background noise. The television, street traffic, the neighbor's dog. But studies say something else. Even soft, familiar noise can prevent your brain from dropping into deep sleep, the kind that repairs cells, balances hormones, and restores memory. So yes, you might be napping, but your brain isn't recovering. Now consider posture. Lying down during the day isn't always easy, especially if you share space with others or live in assisted housing. But slouching in a stiff chair, curling into a couch without neck support, or napping in a twisted position, that can lead to poor circulation, shallow breathing, and long-term aches. For seniors dealing with sleep apnea or reduced lung capacity, this becomes especially dangerous. Let me share a real story. Harold, a 77-year-old retired school bus driver from Indiana, used to nap every afternoon in his old recliner. The blinds stayed open, the news mumbled in the background, and every time he woke up, he felt groggy, irritable, and his neck always ached. He didn't think much of it. Just getting old, he'd say. But one day his doctor gently nudged him to try something different. He started closing the blinds, switched the TV off, used a small neck pillow, played soft instrumental music instead of cable news, and something surprising happened. His naps got shorter, but more refreshing. He didn't feel like he needed a cup of coffee afterward. His afternoons felt lighter, calmer, clearer, because the truth is simple. Your nap environment is just as important as the nap itself. Think about it. You wouldn't eat dinner standing in a noisy hallway, So why expect your body to get quality rest in a loud, bright, unsupported space? Creating a dedicated nap space, one that's quiet, dim, supportive, and peaceful, can help improve everything from your mood to your immune system. This matters especially for seniors. As we age, our sleep architecture changes. We spend less time in deep sleep. We're more prone to waking up at night, and poorly designed naps, too loud, too bright, too awkward, only make nighttime rest harder. It becomes a vicious cycle. Shallow naps in the day, restless sleep at night. Repeat. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Your surroundings can either work with your body or quietly work against it. And just a few small changes, a pillow here, softer lighting there, a peaceful sound, can tip the balance toward true rest. Because at this stage in life, every bit of quality rest matters. Every nap is a chance to heal, to recharge, to quietly restore what time, stress, and fatigue have taken. So don't underestimate your nap space, because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for your health is to simply give your body a peaceful place to breathe. Final thoughts. You know what surprises most people about growing older? It's not the aches, not the slower pace, not even the little forgetful moments. It's the quiet realization that how you live today, in the smallest, most ordinary choices, shapes how long and how well you live tomorrow, especially when it comes to something as overlooked and underestimated as a nap. Yes, a nap, not some dramatic life event, not an expensive treatment, just the simple decision to rest more intentionally. Because here's the truth. So many seniors don't give naps the respect they deserve. They say, it's just a quick doze, or I've always done it this way. But small habits, when done daily, become powerful. They either build your health quietly or they chip away at it silently. And we don't always see the damage until it's already taken something precious. So I want to leave you with this. Imagine a version of yourself who wakes up from a nap, not groggy, not stiff, but clear-headed, refreshed, steady. That's not a fantasy. That's not something reserved for the young. That's yours to create, starting now, today, by applying what you've learned. You deserve quality rest. You deserve to feel good after you sleep. You deserve to have energy for the parts of life that still bring you joy. And you have the power to make that your reality, one thoughtful nap at a time. Thank you so much for being with us today. We'd truly love to hear from you. Please scroll down and share one thing you learned from this video and how you plan to use it in your own life. Your stories and insights matter. Reading your comments motivates us more than you know. And if this video touched you, if it helped you see your nap routine or your health in a new way, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might need it. Your support helps us continue making meaningful content, videos created to inform, to encourage, and to walk beside you on this journey. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again, well-rested and smiling, in the next video.